Is the 31st day of January 2015, and I'm delighted to have Gauri with us. Welcome, Gauri.
Thank you.
I don't know where to begin. You're such an encyclopedia of the ashram.
No, not
Maybe,
really.
maybe we could ask first, what is your first memory of the ashram when you were very small?
I was the first baby of the ashram.
I see.
I came to the ashram when I was 1.5 months old.
In your
So-
mother's arms.
Yes.
Yes.
I was born in Bangalore and
Oh,
mother sent my mother to Bangalore. She didn't want me to be born in Pondi. The Pondi hospitals were not so good.
I see.
So she asked. My mother wanted me to be born here, but I was born in Bangalore. We came back. I don't remember. I was very, very small, no?
Yeah.
I remember maybe they used to ring a bell. When mother used to come at night on the evening in the balcony, they used to ring a bell.
Oh.
And I used to hear that bell and said, Big Mama has come, Big Mama has come. So that much I remember.
You saw
And
Sri Aurobindo?
Many times, more than 44 times. At least.
Oh my God.
At least. Because, see, if I was 3, before 3, I'm not sure if I was allowed. But definitely 3. So then, from 40 to 50, 4 times every year, plus on in April we used to march past also, so sometimes 5.
My goodness.
So very lucky. I must have been doing something very good last life to deserve all this.
When do you remember anything about seeing him, or were you too young?
No, I remember very much. The whole line used to bend like that because we used to see mother many times a day, and we were very close. She used to play with us, give us flowers, and on birthdays we used to see her about 5 or 6 times a day on the birthday. Other days also at least twice or thrice. So we knew mother, but Sundo was 4 times a year, no? So the line used to go like that, and we used to look at him. And I don't know, Nirodha says that he didn't smile. But I felt that he always smiled at me. He was so full of compassion. For me, the idea is that he was so loving and so full of compassion. There was not a broad smile, but a very gentle smile.
I see.
Very loving, compassionate smile I always felt. So that I remember. Then I got my name, no? So mother used to choose the meaning and Shundo used to give the name.
Oh.
So Shundo gave the name. And one of my poems as a little girl went to him.
Tell us about your name and
Oh, my name.
what mother said in Sri Aurobindo.
When I was very little, I had a European name. My mother was English. It's my phone, I'm sorry. So I used to make every day change my name. One day I was Jasmine, one day I was Rose, one day I was Sita. I used to change my name every day and tell mother.
Oh.
So somebody told me, why don't you ask mother for a name? So I said, okay, I'll ask mother for a name. So I asked mother, give me a name. And she said, you won't change it? So I said, no, I won't change it. So many days passed. And I used to go up in the evening, sometimes with my mother, sometimes with Ambu. My father was very busy always.
Yes.
I remember I think I was about 5. And I remember the play, I remembered it as though it was yesterday. It was so vivid. Because she gave me a little note where she had written my name and then written it in Sanskrit, in French and Sanskrit. And then she told me, your name is Gauri. It's the RU is like the French, and it means the fair one. But not fair here, fair here. And she looked at me with so much power that I felt as though, I can see it today as though I was 5. That was something, my name.
And Sri Aurobindo?
He used to give the name. Mother used to give the meaning, and he used to give the name to him. After that, it was Nolinida.
I I see.
So Mother Shondo used to give the names.
So you were the first child here,
Not the first child,
Not
first baby.
the first baby.
There were other children.
Oh,
Dayakar, Roman. There were some other children. When I was, there was no school. So I
Yes.
had no schooling.
When did your mother and father come? What year?
They came in 37
37.
and they got married in Pondicherry in February. My mother reached Bombay in January. They got married in Pondicherry February. They saw Shundo in August. And I was born in November. All in the same year.
I see.
So they
And-
lived here.
So, when there was no school, how were you taught?
Yeah, there was a lady. She was the secretary of, who was that man in Pondicherry? I don't remember. Somebody's secretary,
Mhm.
Pavita. Her name was Pavita. And they arranged, my father thought I would grow up uneducated. So she sent me there, mother arranged, and I used to go there. And that wasn't a very happy thing because she thought I was extra bright and she wanted to make me a genius, and then I became anti-learning. She used to lock me up in the bathroom and pinch me and all that to make me right. And then in the end I wouldn't go at all. So then afterwards when school started, when I was 6, school started. The children came during the war, no?
Yes.
Many
yes,
children,
yeah,
Tom Chumur
yeah,
and all these
yeah,
people.
right.
So that time, when the school started, and I went back to school, but I was very sickly and also I had this fear of being bullied. So I wasn't very good after that as a student.
Tell us about your daily interaction with mother when you were young. You saw her many times a day.
Ah, good Lord. It used to start at 6 o'clock. Balcony. Our house was very near. When I was 9, I came to this house. Before that, I was in the red house.
Oh.
So when I was 9, I came to this Fanat.
Mhm.
So it was balcony road, no?
Yes.
You come running out, wash your face, brush your teeth fast. Come to balcony. Mother 6 o'clock. We used to have balcony. Then I think get the fruit basket and go to school. I don't know how many times we used to see mother. Oh, we used to play at midday. 6 of us used to play games, mother with mother, learning French. So we used to go in the corridor and we 6 used to play games with mother. And she used to give us little prizes. I still have the handkerchief that belonged to her mother. Her
Oh,
own mother's
her
handkerchief,
own mother's
as a
handkerchief.
prize. Then I remember I was very sickly and I didn't eat and I used to trouble my mother a lot. So mother said, bring her up, I'll teach her how to eat. So we used to have lunch with her for some years, until 50. When Sundar passed away, then she went and ate somewhere else. But I think she taught me too well. Now I eat too much.
And you used to play flower games with mother?
Yes, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. The ashram artists had painted all the flowers in hand with watercolor, in cards
In
like
watercolor?
that. Watercolor.
Ah.
Krishna Lal mainly. It was Krishna Lal who had painted those cards with all the flower names. And I don't remember who wrote it. But then mother corrected many of the names. She had corrected it. And we 6 used to distribute the names, and then there were little cards with the name, and you have to pick up, and whoever is last is the loser, whoever finishes first is the winner. But like that, we learned all the names of the flowers.
But you had to, when you picked up the card, you had to know the name?
We had cards, no?
Right.
Now, who had that card, we'd put it down. So the person who finishes last is the loser. The person who finishes all their cards first of flowers is the winner.
Okay.
So that's how we used to play. It
And
was
then-
not so much memory game, but more like this. But like this, we learned the flowers because we had to read the name in French.
Oh.
So even now, I know the names only in French. I'm not very good at English for the names of the flowers. Yeah, we learned them in French.
So that was in the afternoon with Mother?
Yes.
And then
Just
what happened?
before lunch.
Late
or
afternoon.
just after lunch. I can't remember.
Late afternoon?
Not late afternoon.
Did you see her again?
Yeah, on the way to tennis ground, I think we used to run out and see her on the road. So one day she even waved to me from the car. I'll never forget that. Then she had a translation class in the playground with the bigger children, bigger groups. But we, 4 of us who were young, mother called us to come, and we used to sit there in one corner and we used to write. Not understand very much, but we used to also be there. So that was that time. And then after group, she would give us groundnuts or
Yes,
that
we've
was-
heard about that.
the whole line. She used to go up and down, walking like that. No, so that was also.
And
we
you
used
would you tell Mother how many you wanted?
No, she'd give whatever. It was in a bag.
Oh, it was in a bag.
Yeah, it was in a bag,
Ah.
and it should go fast and give everybody, and give us a lovely smile. But what I think was wonderful, actually, when you're a teenager or when you're very young, there are days when you're very unhappy. I don't remember. Small thing might make you unhappy. And that day, Mother will smile so specially to you that it used to go. That is something I think our children don't get now. That was something. Mother knew the day other days you might get a little smile, or what we call follow through. Somebody else got the smile and you got the follow through. But on that day when you needed it, she always gave us means all of us, a very special smile, and that sort of took away all the unhappiness. I remember when my dog died also. I was very, very attached to my dog. She had given the name to my Dalmatian as Bo. First one we got Beauty, and Beauty's son was Bo. And Bo was like a brother to me. I loved him very much. And when he died, they sent me up to Mother. So she gave me a photograph of herself, and she took away the pain. She had that thing.
I'm looking forward to more talks with you because we want to cover your mother's life, your father's life, because no one knows them like you do.
But I too don't know very
tell
much.
tell me a little bit about your schooling as you grew up and as the Center of Education developed.
We came from the small school to the big school. That was a big adventure when we bought this house. Belonged to French ladies, old ladies. And the ashram bought the house, and then it was redone, and we used to go and look. It was a big adventure finding out all the things. But I was a very sickly child, and I missed a lot of schooling. And then Mother said, you go and play in Golconda Garden. For 1.5 years, I didn't go to school at all. I just played in the garden. So, and I became healthier, true, but I wasn't very good at studies, except botany.
Ah,
I love botany.
after my own
Yeah.
heart.
Sunilda was my teacher.
Oh,
Oh, what a teacher.
could you tell us a little bit about him?
Oh, he was very shy. He was very shy, very sweet, very shy. But I don't know, there's something, he just taught us. He was quite strict. He was quite strict. And we used to have competitions, and there was a boy and me, we used to both try to come first. He start class by asking questions. And if you don't answer the question, you have to go back. If you answer the question, you come front. So every day's class, which we had with him, all the lessons were asked. He used to ask us questions, and if we couldn't answer them, then the person who could answer would come in front, and we'd all go one back. So I remember that boy and me, we used to compete like anything to be first. So in his class, I was very good.
In botany or other things
No,
also?
botany.
Botany mostly, okay.
And that one I really worked. Others I was not very hardworking. I like to paint, I like to dance, I like to read books.
Ah.
But I wasn't a very hardworking student.
What about your painting? What did you like to paint?
I learned watercolor. I learned from our ashram artists a little. On Sundays we used to go and learn.
Did you paint some flowers?
Mm,
You did?
sure. Yeah, paint flowers.
And dance?
I grew flowers. I grew vegetables in a flower pot. I used to give my flowers to mother when I used to go and see her in the afternoon. And once I gave her a baby watermelon, it was growing in my flower pot, and she told Ravindraji to make it into juice and she would drink it. And once I grew peas, and she opened the peas and she ate them and she said they're very sweet. Yes, I used to grow things.
I see. You grew them in your house or in Golkon?
Yes. No, in my house.
In the house?
In flower pots.
In flower pots?
I used to grow roses, and I learned from someone that you have to wrap it up with a cloth, a damp cloth, and then just before you give it to mother, you open that cloth and then it slowly opens like that. Just perfect at that time. But then I suppose it opens full, because otherwise if you are a bit late, it would be a full opened flower, no?
Yes, yes.
So you want it just coming open. So you take out the damp cloth and then you have it just perfect. That's what I remember of. Yeah, we had lots of little things like that.
Did you see Mother in the evenings after tennis?
We had class every Wednesday.
Oh,
Mother used to take a red group. We were red group. She used to take our class. She used to read and explain many things. I can't, most of it is to go over our head. Actually, Manoj and Tara were very sharp. They used to ask good questions. We used to just listen and not ask many questions. I used to love Friday class, because Friday she used to take the green group children. So we used to go and sit around her, and she used to tell these lovely stories of animals, and then she used to tell, and then the little dog did this, and then the duck did quack, quack, quack. And she used to act all the parts of the animals, and it was so cute. That's what I like more. Ours was a bit heavy, reading Dharmapada and
yes.
showing those books she used to read and ask us to ask questions. So our class was a little more serious. And Poitruda used to be there, and he used to help. Yeah, they used to all take notes. That time there was no
desks?
No machine, no tapes. No tape machine.
Yeah,
so
so
they had to write it fast what she spoke.
I see. And that is in the
It's-
collected works?
Yes. They
I
had
see.
all her Wednesday classes. Wednesday classes and Friday classes. There were 2 classes.
I'd like to ask you more about flowers. What were your favorite flowers?
Oh, I loved all flowers.
All flowers?
Yeah, I remember in Temi's class. Temi was our English teacher, and she was very good at creative writing. Very good teacher. And my best, she never gave very good. She gave very tight marks. 6 or 7 if you got, you were very happy. She was not very good at giving 9s and 10s,
I see.
like I give anyhow. But I take small children. Anyway, so my 2 best essays are both on flowers. One was on the dahlia, and one was on nobility, the dahlia.
Yes.
And one was on, I've forgotten the second flower now. But that one, she said, that seems to be your forte. That you're writing, you can really write on flowers, not on other things. So
What score did she give you?
quite good.
Yes?
I don't remember it. was
Yeah,
long
but it
ago.
was quite good.
Yeah, those 2 were the best
I see.
that I've ever written in our class.
Now, to briefly get into the life of your
Parents.
mother first, yes. And her work, of course, for mother. Mother called her my collaborator.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your mother.
Oh, my mother was too good. She was really perfect. I don't know. She was very good, very hardworking, very, I don't know, not demanding, not. She just loved to work. What can I say about my mother? Actually, she said she couldn't do yoga. She came because her husband came, and she didn't understand yoga at all. And mother said, I can't meditate. So mother said, don't worry, I'll meditate for you. So mother meditated for her, and she said, I can work. And mother was very happy. She said, I don't have to worry about Golconda at all. That's one place I don't have to worry at all, because I know you're perfectly. And I remember when during the war, her mother died. And my mother was heartbroken because she had, my father had given all the money to the ashram. She had no money to go back to see her mother. And there was a war on.
Oh yes.
Second World War. She died, and she hadn't seen her for so many years. And they were a very close family, and she was completely heartbroken, and she didn't want to go out of the house. And this one, she said herself that my father said, no, you have to come. And she refused to go. Then he forced her to go and see mother. And she said the way mother talked to her, the way mother explained to her, she said, I came out with a bit of joy. Not only no sorrow, she said, you bring your mother's photograph. And next day my mother took her mother's photograph, and she said, I know her very well. She's inside me, don't worry. And so she said that mother had that she remembers very well. Then once she used to dust. She used to wait for mother when we used to have lunch. Mother was always late. She had to work here and there. She had so many people to look after, no? She used to have so many interviews and all. So she used to often come late. So my mother couldn't sit. She should dust this and clean that and something of the furniture. So mother once told her, how are you, Mona? She said, oh, I'm all right. Only I have this pain in my arm. I can't lift my arm. So mother just did like that to her arm. And then she lifted it and she said, hey, I can lift it. The pain gone. Don't say anything. So those stories I remember of mothers.
Yes.
A few like that.
Of course, I knew your mother very well.
Yeah.
And I loved her very much.
I think everybody in the ashram loved my mother very much.
I think so too. And of course, Golconda was spotless.
Yes, in her time.
In her time, yes, it was.
That was her first love, Golconda. I thought I was, but actually Golconda was. If Golconda, we had sets, we'd buy spoons or something. If one in Golconda was broken, then the one from our house would go there. If there was a nice food, something, then that would go to Golconda. Yeah, Golconda was. And when the ashram was attacked,
yes,
she wanted to charge to Golconda to guard it. Yeah, she thought she was a tigress or what, I don't know. But she was ready to guard Golconda. No, they said you can't go, they're throwing stones, fire. No, I have to see Golconda safe. She was very worried about Golconda. No, Golconda was everything for her.
Yeah.
Mother had told her, no, you should not change what the architects have done at all. And she took it like gospel truth. She never changed anything that the architects had designed. So that she took very seriously.
How many years did she
Was
she in charge of Golconda?
Until she went 92. When she was 92, she passed away.
She passed. Yes, I remember. I was there. Yes.
Actually, after I was born, she was quite ill.
Oh.
So she couldn't climb stairs. She had a lot of trouble climbing stairs. And because of Datta, mother wanted somebody to look after Golconda, and she didn't know whom to find. And Datta, Datta, who used to look after mother, that
Yes.
lady.
Yes.
So she said, I've been to Mona's house and she keeps her house very well. Maybe you could try.
Oh.
So Datta suggested my mother, and my mother, when she met, and my mother was thinking 3 floors. She'd have to climb 3 floors of stairs, and she couldn't climb even one. But when she got the job, she climbed all. She had no problem. It all went away. Yeah.
What was the first work mother gave your father?
Oh, good Lord, I don't know. I was too small.
Ah. But he was working always for mother.
Yes, yes. And every department nearly, he had something to do in everything, no?
Yes. Yes.
Handmade paper, stainless steel,
Oh,
playground.
handmade paper also.
Yeah, he started the handmade paper.
Oh.
He started.
In Harpagon we know.
Mother loved paper. Mother loved paper. And she said, I don't mind if you don't make money on paper, but I want beautiful paper. So they wrote to the Khadi Commission and he learnt all that. He even did hydroponics and got a prize because he read it up, some system. What was that hydroponic system? And
They're growing things in water and,
and
feeding
pebbles
with
and all.
pebbles, yeah.
So
yeah.
he got Pondicherry prize for tomatoes and roses. Though he wasn't anything of a gardener. But because it was scientifically interesting.
Yeah. He was interested in science.
Yeah, he was an engineer, no?
Yes.
He was an aeronautical engineer.
Ah.
So when he came back to India, there weren't any planes for him to work with. So he got a business in Pondi
Oh.
with this Papa Gible. You know the Gibles, they were the very important people of Pondicherry. He became Papa Gible's partner. So then he had to earn money to bring my mother because her family didn't agree to the marriage and his family didn't agree.
Oh.
So unless he got money of his father, was a very rich man, and his father was a Catholic Brahmin. They were Brahmins, but they were Catholics, and those kind of Catholics will only marry Brahmin Catholics. They will. So my mother was not a Brahmin and she was not a Catholic. So there was a lot of problem. So when in England she had to become a Catholic, and then his father didn't like it because first of all she was a foreigner, and then on top of that she was all right. Now she's Catholic, but she was not a Brahmin blood, no. So I don't know how they were like that. So they were a very, very not an easy family to get married to. Then my father came to Pondi to get a job, and his father didn't want to give him much because he didn't marry whom he wanted him to marry. So then after my mother used to say, 3 years, 3 months, 3 days she waited for him to get enough and to pay for her ticket to come. In the meanwhile, her father also died, and her father found even Scotsmen foreigners. So Indian too out of the question.
Now, when did your father first meet Mother and Sri Aurobindo? He had come here to work.
He had a friend in Bombay. He studied in Bombay, and Amal Kiran's some relation, brother or something, was his friend. So that friend said, my brother or my cousin is in Sundar Ashram. So he met Ambu and Amal. And they used to go and play cards, and they used to drink champagne. And mother said, oh, who is this Mr. Pinto who is spoiling all my children? So that's all he knew. He didn't know anything about it. But when he got married, then Amal said, why don't you show your mother, show your wife, the ashram and see Srindo and mother, things like that. So he knew nothing of India much. He was much more westernized. No, he was brought up in a Western way. My father.
In Goa?
In Hubli. They left Goa and they came to Hubli.
Okay.
They're Goans, but they're different. So He had never worn a dhoti. My mother taught him how to wear a dhoti first, made him. Anyway, when they went for the first darshan, they didn't know what the darshan was. And they got permission to come for the first darshan. And those days, darshan was, mother and Sundar would sit on that, what?
In the alcove?
No,
No?
outside.
Outside?
On the other one, what we call throne one.
Okay, tell us about that, because no one has talked about that.
Oh, at that time darshan had special timings. Suppose you were at 2 o'clock or you were at 2:15 or 2:10, I don't know exactly,
Yeah.
I was baby. But you were alone there. And you got in and you put your head on mother's lap, Sundar's lap, then both of them blessed you, touched, and then you went. You didn't speak, but you got blessed by both.
Where was that throne? As you go into the room,
You come out from Sundar's room.
come out from his room.
Then here there's that alcove. That is after he broke his leg.
Ah,
This one, when you go down this side, down the stairs, on the right, there's a big,
yes.
it seems Purani carved that, I heard.
Oh,
It was carved by Purani. That big
yeah.
wooden one with
Yeah.
the lotuses on the side.
Yes, yes.
So that's where they used to sit.
And one went up alone.
Yes, you were waiting on the stairs and they would tell you your time and then you'd get in and you could get both. And my mother and father said my father wore a suit and tie and, gentleman. And my mother wore her best Parisian dress, what she got. And then they didn't know what they were going to see. My father was absolutely, when he saw Sundar, he was completely floored. He said that I have seen royalty, but that royalty is because of the crown, because of the dress, then they are royal. But here was a person with just a dhoti and a chadar and looking so royal, so noble, that floored him. After that he changed. That was his one darshan which made him a different person. And his family blamed it on my mother. She said that she has taken him away from Catholicism. She has made him go to this ashram, and my father was disinherited completely.
I see.
Like that.
And what was your mother's experience growing up with him?
My mother did whatever he did. She was a real Hindu wife. Whatever he said, she did. She was very innocent and though she was a Londoner, she grew up in a very, very close family, and they didn't mix, so they didn't know much. She was a big, a bookworm. She used to read all the time. She hardly went out. She had a job, but then she'd come back and read. So she didn't know many people, and she was extremely innocent, and she was very beautiful, but she didn't know she was very beautiful. So that is also very nice. Mother said, "Oh, our English lady is so beautiful." When she saw my mother, she didn't know that English ladies were so beautiful. They were quite surprised. She was surprised because mother had been to England, as my father said, must have seen all the horsey ones.
Good.
Mother was brought up by an English nanny, you know that. That's why her English was so good.
Oh.
Mother was brought up, she was a banker's daughter, no? So the English nannies used to be called to bring up their
I
children.
see.
Mother's English was very, very fluent. Good
As you grew older, could you share some special remembrances of mother? Nothing that you want, nothing personal that you want, but something to share with us, because people are so moved by all of these.
But I've been telling you all that, haven't I, just now?
We always want more, you know how it is.
I can't think of anything actually.
And tell us more then about Udar.
Yes. Yeah, I
also.
became a drawing teacher.
Ah,
I was still in Red Group. We were in Red Group till we were 21.
mm.
It was rather old. Now they are there only till their teens. Anyway, so they had no drawing teacher. So somebody suggested that I become a drawing teacher. I was extremely timid as a child. I wouldn't talk to anyone. I used to hide under my mother's skirt. I was very, very shy. Ambu and my mother used to protect me, but I was very shy. Actually, mother did so much psychologically. By making me a teacher, she gave me so much confidence because children think you're just wonderful, whatever you tell stories, they're such beautiful stories, so they think and then they may give you confidence. So that was my changing thing, that by making me a teacher, and she told me, you do what you like, don't let anyone do, and she taught me, you show an object to the class and then you take away the object and let them draw what they remember. Then you show them the object and they correct their own drawing with your help. I was surprised. I never knew. I was still young, of course. The fat people used to draw the same thing fat, and the thin, tall people used to draw the same thing thin. Nobody used to draw it correct. It was so strange. They couldn't even see it straight. I was so surprised to see that. I learnt a lot, that you see things how you are or what, I don't know. And then I used to tell, see, this one is so much, how is it this one? Then they used to say, yes, this is a little like this and a little like that. And then slowly they used to try to observe and correct their own. That was the way of taking the class that mother taught me, to take the drawing class like that. I wasn't a very good artist or anything, but as small as children, I used to take Saturdays, in this period, 7th period, Saturdays, we used to have drawing class and I used to take. My first batch was Anjana, or Hero.
Hero.
You might know them, yeah?
Yes.
Kake.
Kake, yes.
Yeah, they were my first batch of children. Now they're all grandparents. I've been teaching for 59 years now.
59 years.
But not drawing anymore. After that I became an English teacher. But in the beginning I was just drawing. I remember Kake. He couldn't draw for nuts. So he gave me a long lecture. You mustn't, he told me, I was the teacher, a small little boy with all his hair. You mustn't see how I draw. You should see how much I try and my effort. So I said, okay. So then I brought the simplest flower, simplicity.
Simplicity, yeah.
So it's just a flower like that with tiny, tiny, tiny petals. So I said she couldn't draw it at all. So then I drew one in the corner. I said, see, I'm drawing one for you. You try like this, like this. I've drawn one in the corner. After 5 minutes, he's showing me my drawing. How is it? How is my drawing come? Showing me my own drawing.
Your own
Yeah, a lot of children funny.
I understand that he had a very special relationship with mother.
Yes,
too.
yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, his hair was always like that, tousled, and every day he used to get a comb. Mother used to give me a comb every day. She had a whole box full of combs. That I remember. Then he had running races with mother when he was a little boy. Run forward, run on one leg, all sorts of things.
With mother?
With mother, on the playground. But then when he wanted to do rabbit hop, then mother said, no, not the rabbit hop she didn't do. But all the others she did. When he grew up, I remember, when he grew up, he had a huge big black beard, which none of us liked. Big black beard. Suddenly on his birthday, there was no beard. I said, what happened, Kake? No, I took it out before mother sees. If mother sees and tells me never to grow it again, then I can't do anything. So better I don't have it. She can't tell me that. I remember that.
I think Tara told us once about when he hurt his knee or something, and he ran up to mother.
I don't know.
And just broke through, ran upstairs, no matter who was there, and said, "Mother, look." He was like that.
I didn't. That
Sweet,
I don't
sweet boy, though.
We used to go to mother with 6 of us. Tara was there. When Kake used to come, he used to also come with us. And mother used to give tomatoes from the fridge. And it was cold, no? And he used to say, oh, hot. Galam, galam, he used to say. He couldn't understand the difference. We were very small. It was hot or cold. And I remember that also. I remember mother used to give us, she was very fond of us eating tomatoes. And they used to grow in the gardens, and they used to give her. And we used to get a tomato each. And then Jhumur fell ill, and she got 2 tomatoes, and we all got 1. Then I fell ill, and I got 4 tomatoes. Every day 4 tomatoes. And then she said, "Are you eating the tomatoes?" So I said, "Yes, my mother makes juice. Juice,
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch and dinner." Then I said, "Yes, I eat the juice." No. Juice, you lose a lot of the value. You have to eat them like that. But now I love tomatoes. I really love tomatoes. But that time, it was a lot.
4 a day.
4 a day. Big ones,
I see.
So that I remember too. We used to have lots of fun, I remember. Once she used to give us Ganpatram's sweets, cottage.
Oh, yes. Oh, they were the best.
And it was a long corridor, and she used to throw the sweets, and we used to catch them. And she was very strong. Mother used to play tennis well, no? So she used to throw the sweets, and we used to. I remember that Amritada and Mrityunjoy, they have never done sports, so they could do like that, and it used to go through. And then mother used to laugh. She used to love it, And then Amrita used to say, "Oh, but mother, I'm not trying to catch the sweet, I'm trying to catch the sweetness." So he used to tell like that, So we used to have lots of fun. So once she gave us sweets, and Jhumur being Bengali, Bengalis love sweets. So she ate it up at once. And then she did like that, and she took it out. It was full of fungus, So, and then mother said, "What happened? So mother took. So she said, "Mother, it's luckily we hadn't eaten it." So mother said, Jhumur said, "See, mother, it's got all blue and like that." So mother said, "Oh, it's penicillin, nothing wrong. You eat it up." She told us, "Penicillin. It's penicillin, eat it up, nothing wrong." Mother, lots of fun we had. But she ate it, she had to eat it, luckily we didn't. Yeah.
Did you do the flower sentences with mother?
No, we were not. That was older, before us.
Oh, that was before. That was that long back.
Long back. I don't know if we were born even.
I see. Oh.
Those ladies used to sit and they used to write, and they used to count flowers, no? Every day they used to count.
During the war.
Yes. In the middle of the meditation hall, there was a mark. I don't know if it's true, but they told me that it was a stain like that. That was where all the transformation flowers used to be collected and kept. Somebody said that that's why there was a stain, but I don't know. That's what I'd heard. No, they used to count a lot. All the flowers were.
Many people would count? Or?
I think, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That time I don't know.
Yeah. So just before we end, a little bit about your father and his day-to-day relation with mother.
Oh, that was, he used to go for balcony, he used to stand outside, inside when mother used to go to balcony, come in, and then she used to meet her. Then he used to be the purchasing department head, no? Mm-hmm. So there he used to go every day for signatures. Then anything needed to be done, anything needed to be built. No, he was everywhere, I think. I don't know. He did a lot.
Yeah. What do you
He absolutely adored mother.
He did.
Yeah. So long as mother was there, he was very, very great. After mother went, something, was missing in his life.
What are you teaching now? English?
I'm teaching very little because I'm working upstairs now.
Yes.
We are looking after mother's clothes now.
Tell us about that, because I know that who was making the
boxes, handmade
boxes.
paper, acid-free boxes.
Yes.
No, after Kumud passed away, then Manoj didn't know whom to give the work. So as we 3 girls, Chom, Jhumur and me, were the oldest now, that we're the elders of the ashram, like that. Don't feel very wise, but still. So we were given the work. And for 40, in 74, they took care of mother's clothes and put it away, and after that they didn't touch it. So there were bundles all like that, tied and getting stained, and with camphor had made more stains, and mother's saris, the embroidery, it's unbelievable, so beautiful. Those ladies, what they have not done, the work, it's incredible. That kind of embroidery, you can't believe that exists, it's so beautiful.
I see.
So we got an expert who showed us how to look after fabric, and we get acid-free paper from Belgium. One of our ex-students offers, it's quite expensive, but he offers anything for mother. So that between each time we fold the cloth or dress or sari, we put that acid-free paper in between, and then we make big acid-free boxes from the handmade paper. And there's a cloth called Kora Mal, which is also acid-free, made in India.
Oh,
So we wrap the whole thing in that, and then we put it in a box so it's not squashed. And we are trying to arrange all that now.
there must be so many saris.
Yes, hundreds.
Hundreds.
And handkerchiefs, thousands. Some of them are so small that children made, some of them are so big. All types. Tiny little handkerchief, small children must have made for mothers, so small. Thousands. Then salwar kameezes are embroidered. We have to take a lot of. We haven't finished. 3 years we have been doing.
I see.
Still lots to go. A lot of work. So I have made my classes less. And thrice a week I go to school, and 4 times a week I work upstairs. And the other days in the afternoon. Every day I work upstairs.
Every day.
But which day I work in the morning in the school, that day I work in the afternoon.
What a blessing that must be.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lovely. I must have been very good in my last life to be so lucky this life. I think so. Otherwise, there's no reason. I don't think there's any other reason.
Gauri, thank you so much.
Okay, sorry.